Welcome everyone. Hope you all are doing fine. Now, let us start. The first novel we have. The book, Astral Apostle, is about a man named Zhou Qing who discovers the power to travel to different astral realms and creates vessels for his soul to project onto different realms. He realizes that human civilization is not completely ignorant of the existence of other realms and becomes the only being able to travel amongst countless different shapes and forms. It is a clash of fate between multiple dimensional worlds and multi-dimensional factions. The overall rating for the book is 88. On to the next novel we have. The book titled Wisher Beware has a rating of 86 and tells the story of an individual with advanced knowledge in a society that relies on primitive methods. The protagonist becomes a slave in a matriarchal society, and the story contains sexual content relevant to the plot. The author notes that it is a rational fantasy with a unique approach to the isekai genre and that the plot progresses slowly at the beginning but builds off previous achievements. Readers are advised to check the reviews for more information. On to the next novel we have. The article is about a story called Harry Potter, a certain ancient Rune professor of Hogwarts, where Felix returns to Hogwarts after 3 years and combines Muggle wisdom with magic. The story takes place during the second year of the Golden Trio, but the main character doesn't know the plot of the original Harry Potter story. The article gives the story a rating of 84. On to the next novel we have. The story is about a rebellious girl named Zhang Yansheng who wasted her life in her past because of her scumbag father and stepmother. When she is reborn back to high school, she decides to study hard and become a qualified heir of her family's business. She also tries to win the fight against her stepmother and half-brother who are actually devils. The story also includes a potential marriage proposal from the prince of the Yu family. The overall rating for the story is 84. On to the next novel we have. The article discusses the evolution of life over 4.6 billion years, beginning with the birth of a cell and the rise and decline of civilizations and species. The author emphasizes the importance of continuous adaptation and evolution to achieve victory in the face of challenges. The article receives a rating of 84. On to the next novel we have. Yun Ling survives 100 days in the beta test of Apocalypse Calamity and gets rewarded with Lord Token, Life Skill Level Retention, and S-Rank Skill. However, when the game opens, the world becomes a game and Yun Ling realizes she can use her life skills to build an indestructible fortress. On to the next novel we have. The novel is titled How to Live as the Enemy Prince and has a rating of 84. It follows the story of Byrne, the Crown Prince of Secretia who died in the war against Kyrus, but wakes up 10 years in the past as the timid third prince of Kyrus, Callian. On to the next novel we have. The story is about a martial arts instructor who gets betrayed by his cult and wakes up in the body of a young instructor with a terminal illness. He uses his knowledge to become the star instructor of a martial arts academy to earn money to save his life. On to the next novel we have. The story is about Ji Yu Chong, who transgresses into a fantasy world and becomes the fated villain. Though the world's protagonist vows to take revenge on him, Ji Yu Chong is envied by everyone, including the female lead. He discovers a system dedicated to harvesting from the protagonist and decides to fulfill his destiny as the villain. The reviewer rated it 86. On to the next novel we have. The title is Invisible Dragon, and the review gave it an 84 rating. The story is about a powerful dragon that moves to another world and is invisible, capable of killing everything in its path. It is described as a super-duper story about a super-duper dragon. On to the next novel we have. The book, Shrouded Seascape, is about a subterranean seascape with strange islands and monsters that rule over humans. The survivors pled for mercy but only face a slow, tortured existence. Charles and his crew embark on a perilous expedition to reclaim humanity's past glory. The book is Lovecraftian with Western fantasy, First Industrial Revolution, and steampunk elements similar to Lord of Mysteries. On to the next novel we have. The protagonist in My Longevity Simulation must navigate a world where immortality is nearly impossible and the immortal realm is plagued. However, he gains a supreme treasure that allows him to reverse time, and he embarks on an endless path to immortality. He ascends through politics in his second life but cannot find the immortal path. In his third life, he is ultimately killed by an immortal sword. The protagonist, Li Fan, is determined to achieve immortality and will continue to pursue it throughout his numerous lives. The rating for this simulation is 92. On to the next novel, we have Restarting from Genesis, is about a player named Arthur Holmes, also known as Merlin, who sacrificed his player ranking and became a lore hunter in the popular VR MMORPG, New Genesis. After 30 years of playing, Arthur uncovered the game's greatest secret, but his decision to not focus on leveling up led him to realize that he could never catch up to the rankers. He wished he could restart and try again. On to the next novel, we have. The story is set in 2036, when mankind first sets foot on Mars. In 2052, Earth holds the first World Martial Arts Tournament, which is watched by the entire planet. The top professional gladiator, Xu Jingming, retires at the age of 26 with a body full of injuries. Later on, the United Nations announces that advanced technology has been found on Mars and mankind can evolve themselves by using VR experience with a freely distributed VR headset. The story follows Xu Jingming's plans for using this opportunity for the betterment of mankind. On to the next novel, we have. The Villain's Sword is Sharp is a story about a cultivator named Isaac Dahl who is born in the chaotic lands of northern tundra. Despite showing promise, his sect doesn't believe in him. Isaac learns to only believe in himself, and his path will be filled with obstacles, danger, and disaster. On to the next novel, we have. The Runesmith is a story about a man who is transported to a magical world and uses his knowledge of hardware technology to navigate his new surroundings. He faces challenges as the fourth son in a society where status and power are determined by stats and skills. The story invites the reader to join his journey and see how he adapts to this new world. The book has received a rating of 84. On to the next novel, we have. Leveling with the Gods is about a character named Kim Yu-won who gains incredible strength but ultimately experiences despair. However, he is given a chance to return to the past and climb the tower again to fight against ancient evils. The rating is 84. On to the next novel, we have. Swordmasters Youngest Son is about Jin Runcandle, the youngest son of a famous swordmaster who gets kicked out of their clan. He meets a tragic fate but is given a second chance by a god who gives him a new power. Now, Jin must use his power for good and become the world's strongest swordmaster while living up to his greatest potential. My rating for this story is 86. On to the next novel, we have. The book is titled Chaos Heir and has a rating of 84. It is about Khan, who is haunted by nightmares of a crash from 500 years ago and decides to join the global army to learn to wield mana and hunt down the alien race responsible for the crash. The tragedy led to the loss of his home and his mother's death. On to the next novel, we have. The article is about a Harry Potter fanfiction called HP, A Magical Journey, written by the author as an escape from burnout. The story follows Quinn West as he finds himself in the world of Harry Potter and tries to navigate his way through it. The author admits there are many Harry Potter fanfictions out there, but aims to create a transformative work that draws from the wide community of fans while also being enjoyable to read. The author encourages readers to give the content a chance and hopes it meets their expectations. On to the next novel, we have. The title is My Three Wives Are Beautiful Vampires, and the rating is 84. The story is about a man named Victor who has a rare blood type, Rh null, which is a delicacy in the supernatural world. He is turned into a vampire and becomes the greatest vampire of all time. That's the end of this video. I will see you soon in the next video. Happy reading.